Today I will talk about how Nixon's legislation and health policies affected today's society. Nixon created important acts to help families around America that still exist today. One of the first acts was the Health Maintenance Act of 1973. This act provided money to promote the establishment of medical organizations funded by annual payments from enrollees. Rather than paying fees monthly, they paid them annually. And this helped families with, just having organization with those medications, except for the elderly, like especially them, because they were taking lots of medications and weren't keeping up with those, so it helped that organization. Another important act that Nixon created was the Family Planning and Population Research Act of 1970. It helped 4 million low-income women, including 1.3 million teenagers, obtain the family planning services they needed by the 1980s. This still exists in some way. We have some private organizations like Planned Parenthood that do some of the same things. The Occupational Safety and Health Act, or also known as OSHA, of 1970 was very important, and it's where the federal government oversaw the safety standards of American industry. This was a time where new chemicals and new technologies were being made, and this required laws and new safety regulations by the federal government to help keep Americans safe. As you can see in the picture for OSHA, these are some of the frequency cited violations from some of the industries in America that we have issues with today, and the latest ones are in 2018. One other act that Nixon created that was very important and still exists today is the Housing and Community Development Act, which established Section 8 housing. Section 8 housing is for those families who aren't provided the same opportunities or they're low-income families or maybe even single-parent families. And they provide those families with vouchers and different opportunities to help them better live and better succeed, especially their children as well. It's important for those people's children to have the same opportunities. So Section 8 housing gets those families, low-income families, to better opportunities, and it still exists today. Nixon created very important legislation and health policy laws and acts, and these still exist today. So it shows the importance of his presidency.